Hello, everyone, and welcome into Yelling from the Couch. I'm Brent Humphreys, joined by my co-hosts this week, Gage and Gordon Chatterton. The three team, I guess you call it. I don't know. What do we call the three? I don't know. Whatever it is, it's something. Hey, guys, how's it going? Y'all doing all right?
Yeah, we're the three peas in a pod.
Yeah. Man, listen to Gage over here. Three peas in a pod. Exactly. We got Steelers and Packers this week, guys. Hey, what do you think about that? We'll get to that after a while. Man, this week's slate of games don't really look all that great. There's a lot of 7.5 point spreads. We'll go over them here in a little bit, but how are we doing, guys? Doing all right?
Yeah, doing well. Very excited, I should say. Coming off kind of an extended week a little bit. Partial bye week, you could call it. And the offense for Pittsburgh's looking pretty good. The defense, we won't talk about that, but the offense looking pretty good. I don't know.
Gordon, how you doing over there, man? Welcome back to the big show.
Oh, I like being here. What I gotta say is, I don't like my team playing on the road. They kind of, it seems like they suck out loud on the road. I mean, they almost don't get me wrong, Arizona's better than what their record is. Come on, we barely beat the Cardinals. We lost to the Browns on the road, and we tied Dallas on the road. Road games ain't good to us.
Yeah, so I mean, this could be a little tricky.
Steelers on the road.
Could be a little tricky.
Yes.
Aaron Rodgers against his old team. Interesting. We'll talk about it in a little bit. But Aaron Rodgers last week, the video afterwards where Jones knocks him down, he finally explained that, hey, it's all good. He likes his energy, but he's 41. Slow it down a little bit, kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. As we talked after last week, I can't believe Broderick did that. Like, he's trying to put Mason Rudolph as a starter or something, because, man, that was not fun to see.
I enjoyed every minute of it, but, I mean, hey, that was just me. It's just entertainment purposes only.
You still won. I don't know what the issue is out here.
It was hilarious to see. That's why. I mean, it was great.
Just wait till Joe Flacco gets hit by his own lineman and tears his ACL.
When we get to the game, I got a little nugget.
Don't you worry.
Well, we'll be there after a while. That'll be one of our next to last games, Sunday night coming up. But right now, Thursday night football is going on, and what a horrible game we've got going on. After last week's classic,
yeah,
what a wonderful game that was last week. Awesome, wonderful, exquisite, beautiful, magnificent ball game was last week on Thursday night. And now we get this turd. Chargers 34 right now, Minnesota 10. Carson Wentz, Prince Harry, whatever you want to call him. I don't think he's going to be starting next week. I mean, I don't see how you can. But, I mean, do you really go to J.J. McCarthy after this, after what he showed the first few weeks he played? I don't know, man. I think that they're in kind of trouble with the quarterback position right now, the Minnesota Vikings.
Yes and no. You got to remember, McCarthy doesn't have nearly the experience. His first game was against Chicago. He had multiple touchdowns, a turnover. And then you go to the Falcons, no touchdowns, 2 turnovers. So it's kind of like, it's what you expect from basically a rookie. But the way Wentz has played, I don't know what Wentz's contract is. I assume it's 1 year. He's not going to be back in Minnesota next year anyways. So get McCarthy in there, get him the experience, and let him throw the ball to Justin Jefferson.
Well, Wentz, they mentioned a stat earlier that Wentz is the first quarterback in NFL history to start 6 straight seasons with 6 different teams. So he's got that for him, I guess.
Let's make it 7.
I got a feeling it's going to be 7. Like the Dolphins or somebody's going to bring him in and be like, hey, Carson Wentz, come on down.
I actually think it'll be Cincinnati for when Burrow gets hurt next year.
Don't you talk that on here. What are you talking about?
It'd be better than Jake Browning.
It would be better than Jake Browning. Hey, we got Joe Flacco right now. We've got hope.
Hey, the mood change on Joe Flacco.
It is. If you listen to the podcast just 3 weeks ago, Carson Wentz down, wincing on the ground again. But if you'd listen to this podcast about 3 weeks ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, I can't remember how long ago it was. But I was pretty down and out about the Joe Flacco trade. I was bashing it big time. And then after last Thursday, I was like, Joe Flacco's the man. He's the savior. He's back. 40-year-old Joe Flacco. Let's go. He still got it.
He did the thing that Jake Browning couldn't figure out how to do. He threw it to Jamar Chase and T. Higgins on slants.
I don't know about you all, but I would think that would have been my first thought process as a quarterback was to maybe throw to them 2 guys. If you get, you can't do anything else, at least get it to them.
Oh, we got to get the run game going with Chase Brown.
Yeah, because that worked out well.
Well, it did last week.
It did.
Well, they threw to. I'm sorry. Hey, your guys' run game got opened up too.
Yeah.
Both run games got opened up last week.
That's what happens when you can throw the ball to
No,
those
we got
receivers. That's what happens.
Yeah, you throw to run.
Yeah. So last week in our picks, a little bit better overall for everybody. Gage went 11-3. Gordon went 11-3. I went 10-4. Overall, 67-33-1. Gage 61-39-1. Gordon 63-37-1. Thanks a lot, Gordon. Your Packers give us that one at the end of every week now.
We are the one. We are the one in 61-37-1.
Yeah, I guess you could look at it that way, but hey, we're getting better on the picks there. I mean, Gordon was, what was you, like 10-1 going into Sunday night game, I believe? And yeah, he's disappeared into the bricks, I think, again. So that'll lead us into our next segment here, and that would probably be Gage.
Yeah, because I can't.
From turf to tears, it's injury fears. Who's sidelined this week in Gage's fantasies?
You got injured on your fantasy team this week, Gage.
So I did not realize this. Not a lot. I'll start off by saying that Aaron Jones is back from the IR. He is currently playing. He has 5 carries for 15 yards. And he also has, what's he got? 3, nope, the wrong game. 2 catches for 15 yards for a whopping 5 fantasy points. Luckily, I didn't know he was playing, so I didn't activate him. He is still in the IR spot. We got Lamar Jackson, who still has the questionable tag. Don't know yet. Apparently, he's supposed to be a game time decision, which really sucks because it's either him or Jordan Love at quarterback. And Jordan Love is in the starting spot right now, but if Lamar's playing, I think I'm going to go with him. I don't know. And then we got Jacoby Myers still labeled as out, but luckily the Raiders are on a bye week this week. The biggest hurt to the team is the bye week plague. We got Zach Charbonnet on a bye, Trey McBride on a bye, Jacoby Myers on a bye, Amon-Ra St. Brown on a bye. So we did a little bit of diving in the free agency pool, as you could say, because last week we did something that I did not think this team was possible. I came into the week at 2-4. The guy that I was playing was the only undefeated team left at 6-0. I am now 3-4, and there are no undefeated teams left after pulling out a 127.5.62 victory. And it wasn't thanks to the running back core. So I'm like, you know what? We can win games without the running backs. Now, can we win games without Amon-Ra and Trey McBride? Probably not. But that's another case to be had. So running back-wise, we're rocking with Kamani Vidal, who has 19.7 points currently. Pretty good night. And a guy who's only projected 4.65 points, but he had his best game of the season last week against the Raiders, going 14 for 39 and 5 catches for 42 yards. The Kansas City backfield, Brashard Smith, his work volume seems to be increasing, and he's a great pass catcher. The last 4 games, he has at least 3 catches for at least 20 yards. So that's an easy 5 points right there. Tight end wise, I mentioned Trey McBride is out. It was a toss-up. Either Dalton Kincaid or Cade Otton. Cade Otton, I feel, is more, you're going to get 8 to 9 points from him. Meanwhile, Dalton Kincaid, it could either be 3 or it could be 17. So I went with a stable piece. I took Cade Otton. Mentioned last week I had the Colts defense going or the Texans. I'm riding with the Colts again this week, even though they didn't do the best. Going against Tennessee, though, versus Texas going against San Francisco, I'll take that matchup all day. Wide receiver-wise, Tedero McMillan and Rashid Shaheed are the starters. Not feeling confident about that one, gotta say. But we're hoping out here. This is one of the weeks where we are scratching and clawing for anything, any help in the free agency pool. And no one wants to do a trade in this league. Like, I just want to trade for a running back. Like, come on. And no one wants to do it. So, yeah, that's who's hurt, who's on bye, and what in the world the shuffling is that's going on the fantasy team.
So basically, you're not too bad in the injury department, but the bye bug has got you.
Yeah. Basically, everyone's just taking an extended nap this week.
I was looking at, when I'm going through the games here, and I'm like, man, 6 teams on a bye this week. This is crazy. I mean, man, that's a lot of teams on a bye this week, but it is what it is. Gordon, I believe you have a fantasy rant that you want to let out right now. So you have the floor.
Okay, my fantasy rant has to do with frickin' rostering. I don't know what it is. There's something about it. If I put someone in the starting lineup, they don't do shit. The minute I set them on the bench, they explode. Let me give you a case in point. Started AJ Brown all year. I sat him last week, exploded. I had Vidal on my bench this week. He exploded. I started Quentin Johnston. He didn't even get looked at. Kind of how last week, for example. I know it's funny. Last week in NFL.com, you was talking about this. How'd you like to win against this? Guy going against, he had Bo Nix, Jahmyr Gibbs, Texas Smith, and Jigba, and the Browns defense. I got slaughtered by 90 points. And I scored 115. Oh, wait a minute. I forgot. He had Trey McBride, too, as his tight end. I got absolutely slaughtered.
Yeah, that'll do it.
I mean, he had two guys that was injured and he just left them in, and I can see why. You don't need nobody else.
So what about? Yeah, go ahead.
I said, but no, that's the deal. If I put them in, they don't do shit. But the minute I set them on the bench, they explode. I told my wife I'm going to leave AJ Brown on the bench because the Eagles are her team.
Well, he won't be reading any books or anything then. If you leave him on the bench, he'll explode again. But what about, you mentioned it just now, but what about that Giants-Broncos game the other day? How crazy was that thing?
Where do you begin?
Fourth quarter, I would say.
Oh, yeah.
No. You got to wait until about 5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, and that's when it started. Because they scored, what, touchdowns in the last 5 minutes?
Well, they scored 33 points in the whole fourth quarter.
Yeah, well, I think they got one touchdown early. Then they scored the next one later, and it was like all second half of the fourth quarter. It was insane.
Yeah, and then the Giants score with 40 seconds left, and you're like, okay, the Giants got it. And then the Broncos come right back down the field and score.
This reminded me back in, I want to say it was the 2022 season. The Vikings come back against the Colts. They were down 33-0 at one point, and then ended up winning 39-36.
Yeah. I mean, there's been some crazy ones before, but I mean, the Giants were just absolutely dominating that whole game, and until the fourth quarter came around, and that was the end of that. But Sean Payton even got a penalty on him, and I'm like, oh, he just lost his team the game. No, he didn't. Kicker for the Giants, their third-string kicker or whatever, comes out there and misses the extra point and costs them the game.
And now he's looking for a job.
Yeah, he's probably substitute teaching somewhere now, way away from Jersey, would be my guess. Man, so that leads us now into, y'all got anything else from last week you want to talk about? Anything big happening in the games or anything like that? Nothing like that?
Not really.
Nothing big happened on last Thursday's game or anything we can talk about or anything like that? We just skip on to the games, I guess?
Yeah, no, I think we're good. We can just forget that.
Okay.
Other than Thursday night, I worked Sunday, and I didn't get to see very many of the games. So,
well, Thursday night was the best game of the week. So let's go on now, and let's start our pick'ems. But let's go outside. Actually, before we get started, I want to see, have either one of y'all seen what's going on in the NBA right now?
Dude, I got like 5 ESPN notifications this morning. I'm like, what is going on?
That Chauncey Billups has been arrested. The head coach of the Portland Trail Blazers, Terry Rozier, has been eliminated. Whoa, he may be. I mean, mafia ties and stuff. He's been arrested. Wow. That's a little extreme. Maybe I got a different notification than everybody else. I don't know. Damon Jones, the assistant coach for the Cavaliers, also has been arrested. And like 34 other people or something like that has been arrested due to some gambling ring or something going on in the NBA. Craziness going on.
We just started the NBA season. You couldn't do this last week before the season started?
Like summer break or something? It's like, no, Chauncey Billups, he's getting ready to go out here and coach. They're like, no, you're not. You're going to jail. Wow. So, man, it's craziness going on in the NBA. I mean, I guess you got to get attention somehow with the beginning of the week. Everybody's got all eyes on them and like, here's some more.
I mean, yeah, you want attention, but I don't think you want it that way.
I don't think they did either. This isn't a good look for the NBA right here. And I'm sure there's probably more. You got the FBI looking into these guys right here. It's never good when those guys start digging around in, sports like that. That's Pete Rose.
We might not have an NBA season here in 2 weeks.
Everybody's going to be arrested or eliminated, as some people said on here. Wow. So before we get back to football, let's go to a different sport, and we'll do a pick 'em here. Gordon, Gage, The World Series is supposed to start this week. The Toronto Blue Jays and the Los Angeles Dodgers. Who do we got in the World Series? Gage?
Okay, let's just make something clear. We all know it's going to be the Dodgers, but I am pulling for the Blue Jays. Give me the Blue Jays for an underdog story, but I just have a bad feeling we're going to see the Dodgers as champions.
Gordon, what do you think?
Well, I kind of agree with Gage here. I'd like to see the Blue Jays win just so we'd have something different. But I got a feeling it's going to be the Dodgers in 6.
Well, I think that I'm going to go with you all on this. I think the Dodgers are winning this. I think they win it in 5. I kind of feel un-American, cheering for a Canadian team, but it's against the Dodgers, so I kind of feel un-American if I would cheer for them too. So I'm rooting for the Blue Jays hard. I was for Seattle last week. I thought Seattle, Game 6, they won that. Game 7, they had a lead, and they blew it. But I'm pulling for the Blue Jays. I hope they win it. Max Scherzer still as crazy as ever, as you could tell from last week when the manager come out and told him, and he's like, no, go back. I've got this. Hey.
Sure enough, he had it.
He's correct. And then, the next inning, he got in the jam and the manager come back out, and I was like, oh, here we go again. And he's just like, no, I'm good.
What'd you do with Mad Max?
What did you do with Mad Max? Yeah, so, we're all rooting for the Blue Jays, but I'm pretty sure next week when we come back on here, the Dodgers may already have this thing wrapped up. And the only good thing about that is if the Dodgers do win it, maybe they'll start enforcing the salary cap in MLB. Fingers crossed.
That would help.
That would help a lot.
Yeah, it would help, but it's not going to happen.
We can all hope, though, right? I mean, come on. We got to fix baseball somehow.
Yeah.
We can't have the Dodgers and the Yankees and all these teams every year. But that's what it's been forever, so we'll see. Well, let's get back into it now. Let's start with the pick'ems for the NFL, and we'll start out with the first game this week. The New York Jets travel to Cincinnati to face the Cincinnati Bengals at 1 o'clock on CBS. Cincinnati is a 6.5-point favorite at home. Gage, who we got here?
Are you scared? Are you scared at all about this Jets team? I think the question is who's the starter for the Jets at quarterback? Is it Fields or is it Tyrod?
Aaron Glenn says he knows.
He definitely doesn't know. Listen, this team doesn't have a win. He doesn't know anything. All right. If it's Justin Fields, Cincinnati's going to have a field day. If it's Tyrod Taylor, for whatever reason, the offense feels a little bit different with Tyrod in there. And I don't know exactly what it is, but I still think the Bengals are going to come out with a win. Give me the Bengals in this one and give me the points as well.
I like it. Gordon, what we got?
I got the Bengals winning because I don't care who quarterbacks for them. Tyrod come in, what he do first, he threw picks too. So, he gives them more of a chance because he will throw the ball deep. But problem is a lot of times it ends up in the other team's hands.
That's a problem.
Yeah, it is. So I got the Bengals winning and I got them covering, but I'm going to predict they win by 10.
I'll take it for sure. So, you see, normally when you go one-on-one with another team, you got a 50-50 chance of winning. But Joe Flacco, he ain't your average quarterback. He's a genetic freak. So Tyrod Taylor, he's got a 25% chance at best of beating him. Then you add Jamar Chase to the mix, and the Jets' chances of winning drastically go down. See, the Jets know they can't beat the Bengals, so they're not even in the same league. So you take the Jets' 33 1/3% chance of winning, minus Tyrod's 25% chance of staying upright, and you got the Jets with an 8 1/3% chance of beating Cincinnati. But then you add Justin Fields into the equation. He thinks his 33 1/3% scrambling chance means something against Trey Hendrickson. It don't, because Flacco's got a 66 2/3% chance of lighting up that Jets secondary. And when you add that to the 75% chance that Chase, Burns, Sauce Gardner did, you got a 102% chance the Bengals win this Sunday, because the numbers don't lie. And they spell disaster for the New York Jets this Sunday. If you hear me, Bengals win, Bengals cover. Let's go.
I caught that.
Pick up their first win this week.
I caught that. That was very good, Mac, big Papa Pump. So what are you saying? The Bengals have a 175% chance of winning the game?
It's a 102% chance. It's my Steiner math is up there correctly. Give me the Bengals there. So, yeah.
We got the Humphreys math going on.
Our next matchup, the Dolphins travel to Atlanta to face the Atlanta Falcons at 1 o'clock on CBS. Falcons are a 7.5-point favorite. Gordon, Who we got here?
I don't believe you have to ask Falcons, and I don't even think it's going to be close. I think Tua is probably going to throw 9 or 10 interceptions. Just kidding. That's a mock from Thursday. If he don't throw 10 interceptions, he'll be okay. But no, he'll throw a couple. They're just god awful. If it wasn't for Devon Achane, they wouldn't have any offense at all. Poor man's going to get killed. I'd say.
I kind of have to agree on this one. I don't like anything about the Falcons, and I'll be honest, I don't like much about I don't like anything about the Dolphins. I don't like much about the Falcons either. But there's one piece on that team that I really like, and his name is a type of mustard. We got Dijon Robinson out here. If he gets going, the team wins. The Falcons are without one wide receiver this weekend for the rest of the season. Ray McLeod sent home from the team and then released. Okay, and then he goes and signs with the Giants one day later. I'm like, yes, that'll help you. But yeah, give me the Falcons here, and I think they cover as well.
Yeah, the Dolphins, are we starting to get concerned for Tua's well-being once again? It feels that way, right? Because he's saying some stuff after the games. It's just like, this guy's not going to be playing much longer, I don't think. And how is Mike McDaniel still employed right now after this start to this season? I know you lost Tyreek. Achane is your leading rusher. Achane is also your leading receiver for the team for the season. Not a really good sign for a team if your running back is your leading receiver as well. Falcons are so inconsistent, though. I mean, last week they put up nothing against the San Francisco 49ers. But I think that they'll win this game because the Dolphins are that bad. They showed the preview for the Thursday night game next week, and it's the Ravens and the Falcons. So if Lamar's back and playing, the Ravens and the Dolphins. If Lamar's not playing, that Thursday night game is going to be awful to watch as well. But for this game right here, give me the Falcons. I think that the Falcons actually cover this spread right here because I don't know what's going on in Miami, but I think they need to just blow it up and get rid of it. It's over with. That regime's done. Our next 1 o'clock matchup, the Cleveland Browns travel to New England to face the New England Patriots. 1 o'clock on Fox. The Patriots are a 7.5-point favorite because why not? Everybody else is in this league this week. Gage, who we got?
We'll keep this one nice and simple. Screw Cleveland. Quinshon Judkins had a good couple first starts, and in last 2 weeks has been awful. He had the most carries out of any running back last week and failed to hit 100 yards. Then Patriots, they might have found something. Drake May thrown to a little Keyshawn Booty and Hunter Henry in there. Ramondre Stevenson and Travion Henderson still suck. If you notice, when I was talking about fantasy, I didn't mention Henderson's name. It's because I dropped him to pick up Rashard Smith. Give me the Patriots in this one, though, and I'm going to take them to cover as well.
Gordon.
Okay. I want to go against you here, Gage. I got the Browns. Now, Quinshon Judkins may not have hit 100 yards, but he did get 3 rushing touchdowns. He's on my fantasy team. I do know that. I kept getting alert. I kept getting ding, ding, ding. So ESPN league, that's how come I won that league, because I've got Judkins and Christian McCaffrey. So that was pretty good. I got 2 leagues.
Just remember, the Browns played the Dolphins last week. Everybody's been able to run on the Dolphins.
Well, I know, but the guy I was going against in the other league had the Browns defense. So, yeah, I'm well aware how good they did, too. But I think they got a little bit of going here. And I got the Road Dogs. So, yeah.
I'm going with Gage on this one. I've got the Patriots. Drake, maybe. Yeah, it might be May after this. But he's got like the top 4 odds right now in the MVP race. He's like number 4, Drake May is, if you look on these sports books, which I wouldn't believe. But I think a lot of it has to do with beating Josh Allen that 1 week. But they've looked pretty good, though, overall. But the Browns last week, they looked really good, but they played the Dolphins. This may be the best defense Drake May faces so far in his young career. That's going to be a tough challenge for him. The Patriots also have a pretty decent defense as well. I like the Patriots in this one. But I think the Browns will cover this one, though, actually. I think it'll be a close game. But I think the Patriots ultimately pulled up.
What I saw last week in the Patriots game is their right tackle was giving up a little bit more pressure than what he should have, and Myles Garrett runs up on that right side. That's kind of why I took the Browns on this one. I think he's going to be looking at Myles Garrett a lot.
But like I said, on the other side, though, the Browns are going to have to try to score against that defense too. So could be a defensive battle.
Yeah, and I don't think Myles almost got you Garrett is going to be the difference maker.
Well, no, if you have to focus a lot on him, the rest of the line can get after you. So
listen, I just still hold my animosity from PFF after we had this conversation last week. So
I get you there.
You know what I've noticed, Gage, here? I believe Gordon's picked the Browns just about every week on this podcast so far, if you haven't noticed that, but maybe like 2.
Yeah, actually, you know what? Keep it up because it's not working out well.
No. Hey, we all got our little, I just like defense, and they got a good defense. Maybe I put a little bit too much faith in their defense.
Our next matchup we're going to head to, the New York Giants travel to Philadelphia to face the Philadelphia Eagles at 1 o'clock on Fox. Philly's a 7.5-point favorite. Once again, the Giants just beat Philly a few weeks ago. But we'll see if they can do it again. Gordon, what you got?
I got Eagles winning the revenge game, and they cover. And after the letdown the Giants had last week, that's going to be lingering in the back of their mind. So I got the Eagles winning, and I got them winning comfortably.
Gage, what do you think?
Just revenge.
Is there a reason that we know that Philly is a 7.5-point favorite? Is it just because it's in Philly?
I believe that's
probably a lot to do with it.
I mean, I understand Philly being the favorite, but 7.5 feels like a lot. I'm going to take Philly to win, but I think the Giants cover it.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think that this spread's a little high for this game, considering that the Giants just dog-walked Philly, 20 days ago or whatever it was. I know it was at home, but I don't know. Maybe they just match up really good with Philly. We'll see. But I think Gordon's right here that loss last week is going to kind of linger with the Giants a little bit. That's not one of those losses where you just come right back, bounce off of them. I mean, you had 26-8 lead at one point in time, 26-0 lead at one point in time in that game, I believe it was. I mean, it was 19-0 at the beginning of the fourth quarter.
Jesus.
So it was 19-8, and it was bad.
It was 26 away. I mean, you have that big lead on the road. You're beating a team pretty good, and then they come back and they beat you. That's got to be demoralizing. So I think that Philadelphia wins this game. But I don't think that they cover. I think the Giants cover this spread too. I think they'll keep it close a little bit, but ultimately it's in Philly. I don't really like Philly this year, though. I don't think that they're one of the better teams. They're like they were 2 years ago, I believe, and not like they was last year.
No, but there's someone coming back. The leader of the locker room is coming back this week. Brandon Graham is coming back. He's coming out of retirement.
Yeah, but I don't know. Can he keep A.J. Brown in check?
No. Oh, I know that he can make the defense better. Talk about words of wisdom, inspiration. Goes along.
Well, we'll see how it goes for him, but I just feel like they're more like 2 years ago than last year. Our next matchup, the Buffalo Bills travel to Carolina to face the Carolina Panthers at 1 o'clock on Fox. Buffalo is everybody sing along with me, 7.5-point favorites. Gordon, who do we got in this one?
I don't like going against Carolina at home because that's when they don't lose at home, but they will this time. But I think Carolina will cover it, but Bills will win.
Gage?
So I know you said Carolina doesn't lose at home. And I think that's going to continue. Give me the underdog pick of the week, the Carolina Panthers taking down the Buffalo Bills and covering that 7.5-point spread.
You're rolling with the red rifle, huh?
The red rifle is going to have his one-game magic that it feels like he has every stint that he starts and then fall off next week. But that's not important.
That's true. Buffalo, though, they're coming off of a bye. And under Sean McDermott, they're 8-0 after a bye. Josh Allen is 7-0 after a bye as a starter, averaging 28 points a game and 352 yards passing. The Panthers, these two teams right here are both have a winning record. One of 2 games this week where both teams have a winning record. Who would have thought, right? The Bills and Panthers in week 8 would have a winning record, right? Carolina hasn't lost at home. Buffalo was undefeated, under McDermott after a bye. Something's got to give. Give me the Bills in this one. I think the Bills win. And I think the Bills actually cover this spread right here. 7.5 is a lot, but I think that they cover. I think that they're coming out and they're going to dominate the Panthers in this one. Red Rifle, sorry. Going to look like what did J.J. Watt say at one time? We're going to make him look like a Red Ryder BB gun. I think that's what's going to happen. So give me the Bills.
I will have to say this. When the Panthers beat Buffalo this week, I will have to come on here next week and be like, so, what'd you guys doubt me on?
I'll take it. You all doubted me when I took him against the Cowboys. So.
Yeah, we did laugh at that quite a bit. But, hey, hey. Our next matchup, the Chicago Bears travel to Baltimore to face the Baltimore Ravens at 1 o'clock on CBS. Baltimore is a 6.5-point favorite. Lamar should be back, I guess, is why this spread's so high. Gage, what do we think here?
Yeah, that has to be the only reason why it's 6.5. Looking at different reports, Lamar Jackson limited in practice. Again, DeAndre Hopkins out on Thursday. Ravens, Jackson practices. Status versus Bears to be determined. I wish we could throw in 2 separate picks because right now we don't know who's playing quarterback. I agree. I'm rolling with Lamar Jackson and that he is starting. Is there going to be any ring rust, though? Ring rust, like we're in the WWE? Is there going to be any field rust, I guess you could call it? I don't know. The Bears defense isn't horrible. And the one main thing that's been Baltimore's downfall past couple weeks has been not getting King Henry going. With Lamar in there, he kind of has that opportunity to get going a little bit more. Rolling with Lamar, give me the Ravens and give me the points as well.
Gordon.
I agree. I wrote down here, I said Ravens, and then I wrote if Lamar returns, but I can't wait and find out. I got picked now. I'm taking the Ravens, and I'm taking them covering because I'm just hoping he's starting.
Well, I'm going to roll with my underdog pick of the week, and I'm rolling with the Chicago Bears. They've won 3 or 4 straight in a row here, I think it is, maybe 3. But Caleb Williams has looked pretty good here lately. Luther Burden, DeAndre Swift's got things going in the running game. The defense has played pretty good. Even before Lamar got hurt, their offenses look pretty good, but they can't stop nobody. Ben Johnson's got something going on down there in Chicago, I think, and I think that even if Lamar plays, King Henry hasn't been King Henry this year. Give me the Bears in this one. And, of course, the Bears cover because they are the road dog, Jesse James. There's my one for the podcast.
I do got to say real quick, I'm going to shout out the biggest Baltimore Ravens fan that I know. It comes from our NFL Week 7 Pick'em video on YouTube. At Football Dude put a comment last week and just says, thanks for letting the Ravens hang around. Thanks a lot for reminding me why they're hanging around. Got to win during the bye, and then when Lamar comes back, it is over. Ravens winning the division once again. This is going to be the first test for Lamar and the Ravens. If Baltimore comes out and loses this game, Football Dude 2000 might have a different mindset towards winning the division.
I'd like to see what Football Dude has to say after the Bears take down the Ravens this week. It'll be interesting to see if he's got anything to comment on this video. Comment on it, Football Dude. Let us know.
And everyone else.
Everyone else. Yeah, whoever wants to comment on here, whatever. Yeah.
You might get shouted out in the next episode.
Hey, this may turn into a short. Our next matchup, the San Francisco 49ers travel to Houston to face the Houston Texans at 1 o'clock on Fox. Houston is a 2.5-point favorite at home. Gordon, what do we think here?
With George Kittle back and playing, he doesn't have to catch balls, but he's a really good blocker on the edge. Christian McCaffrey had his best rushing game last week. I got the 49ers. Of course, they're underdogs, so road dogs. Of course, Cleveland is my dog pick of the week.
Yeah, I'm going to roll with Gordon on this one. I understand the Texans' defense is pretty darn good. At least so I've heard.
That too.
But the Niners' offense is just good. They are that darn good. Whether it's Mac Jones or Brock Purdy in there, they got a system going on. Now, the defense, iffy. But the Texans offense, also iffy. So give me the Niners in this one, and they also cover because of being the underdogs.
So the Niners, they're without Fred Warner. What was the guy's name that took over for Fred Warner last week? He played really well. I can't think the guy's name. It's on the tip of my tongue. But he played really well in Fred Warner's absence. But the big key was getting George Kittle back. As Gordon mentioned, he didn't have to catch passes. I don't even think maybe he got like 2 targets or something like that. But, man, he ran block for Christian McCaffrey and opened up some holes that Christian McCaffrey is like, thank you, George Kittle, for being back. If you just run block for me, I'll take care of everything else. Like you said, they got a good system over there with the Niners. Mac Jones, Brock Purdy, you could throw just about anybody in that Kyle Shanahan system, and they're going to look decent. I'm with you guys. I think the Niners win. I mean, it's crazy we're all 3 picking underdogs here on the road, but we're going all 3 underdogs on the road. Give me the Niners to win this, and, of course, they cover because they're the road dogs.
Tatum Bethune.
Bethune, that's who, yeah. He played really well for Fred Warner last week.
Yeah.
For a guy I'd never heard of until that day.
He also wears the same number that Fred Warner wore his rookie season.
Maybe that's some sort of initiation or something. Maybe he'll be 54 in 5 years. Hey, who knows? Our next 1 o'clock matchup, the Tampa Bay Bucks travel to New Orleans to face the New Orleans Saints at 1 o'clock on Fox. Tampa Bay is a 4.5-point favorite. Gage, who we got?
Man. The Bucks are down to so many people. Mike Evans, unfortunately, will not be hitting 1,000 yards this season. It's a sad sight to see. This also could be his last season. It would not surprise me if it is. But for whatever reason, they are like wide receiver U, except in the NFL. Because they just got guys out there that Baker's like, I'm the MVP. I'm going to make you guys star receivers. Meanwhile, the Saints, well, Tyler Sook and Alvin Kamara and Rashid Shaheed, Concussion Olave. It's not good right now. I appreciate the giggle at that. That was off the top of the head. I'm going to go with the Bucks in this one, but I'm not excited to watch it. Give me Tampa Bay and give me the cover.
Gordon, who we got? Intriguing. Gordon, who you got?
Well, I got the Bucks, and they should actually cover by 24 because the Saints are horrible. I know they're at home and they have a tendency to play people better than what they should, but I got the Bucks covering, and Chris Olave went to my school. That is wide receiver use. Ohio State. Yeah.
So the Bucks, they keep getting injuries every week. Like somebody's getting hurt. They're like the San Francisco 49ers of the East, Southeast. They still got Baker. Is Bucky Irvin coming back this week? Have we heard? I don't know. I haven't heard anything about it. But White's played pretty good in his absence. I mean, he was, like they said, he was Bucky Irving before Bucky Irvin there. So Tez Johnson's come on a little bit to take the place of Mike Evans, and Igbuka didn't really have that great of a week last week. K. Otton's, played pretty well. The Saints, on the other hand, they're frisky. They're a little frisky out here. But I don't think it really matters. They're at home, but I think Tampa Bay wins this one. And I think Tampa Bay actually covers in New Orleans, even with all the injuries. Give me the Bucks. Give me the
Buck and Chris Godwin both ruled out for this week.
But I don't think it really matters.
Yeah.
I really don't think it matters this week. Our next matchup, the Dallas Cowboys travel to Denver to face the Denver Broncos at 4:25 on CBS. Denver is a 3.5-point favorite. Gage, who we like here?
Well, I think in order for Denver to win this, they're going to have to play 60 minutes instead of 13 and a half. I think this is another one where I'm going to go with the underdog, and I'm surprised Denver's the favorite. I like the Cowboys. I like Javonte. I like the whole running back. Jaden Blue, especially, I think is a very underrated guy. They don't really use him, but he's got the speed that if Javonte goes down, I think he could step right in and be the guy. You got Pickens, you got CeeDee Lamb. What isn't there to like, really? Like I said, give me the underdog. Give me the Cowboys, but I think it's going to be a close game.
Gordon?
Well, if you're talking about what not to like about the Cowboys, their defense would probably be the number one thing you could say you don't like. This is a game I got marked down as a coin toss. You don't know which defense is going to show up for Denver, and you don't know which offense is going to show up for Denver or win. As in last week, it showed up in the second half of the fourth quarter. I got the Broncos winning, and I'm going to say I don't even think they'll cover. I think it'll be like a 1-point game like it was last week.
Yeah, this one's tough here. It's a battle of offense versus defense here.
Or lack thereof.
Or lack thereof. Well, or in one case, offense versus the defense of Denver. Dallas can put up points with anybody. They can score on anybody, as Gordon can attest to there firsthand. Because he's got a pretty good defense, and they hung 40 on him. But they can't stop nobody. But can Denver, like you said, Denver's going to have to get started before the fourth quarter because Dallas is going to put up a bunch of points, and they may just get one stop. Bland may get an interception or something like last week, and there you are, and Dallas has got the advantage. Now, I'm not going to say what Stephen A. Smith said earlier in the week, which he's going to start calling the Alice Cowboys because there's no D.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go with Dallas in this one as well. I think that they win. I think they cover because of the underdogs. I just like Dallas's offense right now, the way that they're going. They're fun to watch offensively. You got CeeDee Lamb now, George Pickens, Ferguson, Williams is running the ball pretty good. Dak Prescott's an MVP candidate right now. Nobody would have guessed that at the beginning of the season, but he is. Give me the Cowboys. Denver won't squeak by again, I guess.
I've been on the island quite a bit though in this show.
That could either go one way or the other. We'll find out. But the last 4:00 matchup, 4:25 on CBS. The Tennessee Titans travel to Indy to face the Indianapolis Colts. Indy is a 14.5-point favorite. Gordon, what do we think about this wonderful matchup to cap off the afternoon slate of NFL football this Sunday?
I think it'd be more entertaining watching grass grow, because I believe this is going to be an absolute blowout. I mean, it's going to be like a wind of farts out there. This could end up being a 40-point game for one side, like 40-0, because the Titans are horrible in offense. They're horrible in defense. They're not very good on special teams. I got the Colts winning by a mountaintop.
Gage, what do you think here?
Man, I still wish that I would have thought ahead for my underdog pick of the week, because I would have had just so much fun with this one. I'm not gonna do it, but I would have if I had not already used it. I'm gonna go with the Colts. However, their defense is a little bit rocky towards the end of games. I think Titans cover the spread, but the Colts pick up the W.
The Colts right now, 6-1. Daniel Jones is in the conversation for MVP. Jonathan Taylor is actually in the conversation for MVP as well. Playing really well. He's looking like Jonathan Taylor of old. Daniel Jones having a resurgence. Indiana Jones. The Titans are still ass. The Colts, I mean, 14.5 is a lot, but they should be undefeated at this point in time. They were 6-1. They should be 7-0. If it wasn't for Mitchell, dropping the ball before he crosses the goal line, they're probably undefeated right now. And the Titans just don't have any hope at all. Mike McCoy, the interim coach, they've already fired Brian Callahan. Give me the Colts in this one. I think the Colts cover this spread right here. I think it's going to be, they're going to have it over with by halftime. It's going to get ugly. So what leads us into, should we go Sunday night, or should we just go Monday night and then come back to Sunday night?
Let's skip.
Here we go. Let's go to Monday night's game. The Washington Commanders travel to Kansas City to face the Kansas City Chiefs at 8:15 on ABC/ESPN. Kansas City is an 11.5-point favorite. Gordon, what do we think here for this Monday night game?
No Jayden Daniels. Chiefs win and they cover. That's all I need to say about that. Marcus Mariota was a good quarterback in college. That's about it.
Simple enough. Gage, what do we think?
I'm in the same boat. Terry McLaurin and Deebo Samuel are at least full practice today, so that'll help out Mariota a little bit. He's not going to be throwing to nobodies, but I got some news flash for you, Bill Merritt owners and fantasy. He's probably not going to have a good week because Commanders are going to be throwing that rock a lot. Give me the Chiefs, and I'm going to take them to cover as well.
So once again here, Jayden Daniels goes out with an injury last week. People saying RG3, the second coming of RG3. Maybe so. I don't know. Sophomore slump. Definitely a sophomore slump this year. The Chiefs get Rashee Rice back last week. And here we are again, guys. We're talking about the Chiefs being a possible favorites for the Super Bowl. After the first few weeks, we thought we were past this. But here we are again. We're having this conversation once again that the stupid Chiefs are still freaking good. And they win this game and they cover. And Patrick Mahomes looks like an MVP candidate. He's leading favorite right now. They win. They win big at home on Monday night. Give me the Chiefs. And that leads us back. We're going to back travel now to Sunday night, guys. And we've got the Green Bay Packers traveling to Pittsburgh to face the Pittsburgh Steelers at 8:20 on NBC. Green Bay is a 2.5-point favorite. Gordon, I think I got an idea who both you guys are going with. So, who you got, Gordon, in this game, in the Aaron Rodgers Bowl?
Well, I'm picking the Packers. I'm not going to pick cover or not because I told you about that. I think it's a jinx. But I will say this, though. Our right tackle is getting healthier. The oblique isn't as bad. The last game he played, they said he blacked out from pain. He had an oblique strain. He blacked out at halftime and finished the game. Tough dude.
Sounds like it.
That was the reason why we sucked so bad against Cleveland is we lost Aaron Banks and Zach Tom for that game, the right tackle and the right guard. Myles Garrett just had a field day, so they had to put 3 people on him, which was leaving one person free every time. So you know how that goes.
Yeah, sounds like a Bengals offensive line schemes.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
Gage. Who we got, Gage?
Man, obviously we're going Pittsburgh, but we do not feel confident at all. It is at Acrisure. It is a Sunday night game. I almost secured Student Rush tickets and was not able to, and I am very upset about it. But the one thing, actually 2 things. I feel like Pittsburgh has the best pass rush in the entire NFL. While Green Bay has Micah Parsons, he's just one player. The Pittsburgh Steelers have the opportunity to rotate the edge rushers and still get constant pressure and still feel like that it's not a weak spot. Obviously, TJ and Alex Highsmith are the starters. Frankly, I think Highsmith is the weak link out of all the edge rushers. But then you rotate him in with Nick Herbig and Jack Sawyer. It's also been great. Nick Herbig, I keep calling him Nate. He has a brother who is an offensive lineman. He used to be in Pittsburgh as well because we are the Pittsburgh brothers, but he's no longer with the team. Herbig leads the Steelers in sacks this season with 4.5. That's ahead of TJ, ahead of Highsmith, ahead of Cam Hayward. And then Jack Sawyer, I think he has 2 sacks on the season, but it feels like he's always involved in the play, which is awesome.
Okay. I'm going to drop some injury stuff on you. A person that hasn't been playing since week 2 on our defensive line is back in practice. And that's Devontae Wyatt, nose tackle. Our defensive tackle's coming back. Plus, we still got Adrian Cooper, and so far, our Hercules isn't practicing, but, whatever. But here's that nugget I was telling you about at the beginning of it. The last time Green Bay won a game in Pittsburgh, 1970. Yeah, that means there's been 4 quarterbacks. Okay, 2 of them, one of them was pretty good, but most of them were pretty good. Just one of them kind of sucked. Aaron Rodgers never beat Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh. Brett Favre never beat Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh. Jordan Love lost the last time, but he's the only one that's getting a second shot at it.
It's also insane to think that for how long Favre and Rodgers played, there was never 2 times that they played in Pittsburgh.
Ain't that weird?
Yeah. It's crazy how the schedule goes like that.
But it's time for shit to change.
But in the last, I want to say 3 or 4 games, Rodgers has not taken a single sack. He has stayed upright. He has played clean. Last week was kind of his worst game, if you want to call it defensively. 2 picks, one of them, not his fault. DK got it ripped out of his hands. And then the tight ends really got involved. You had touchdowns to Pat Freiermuth, Darnell Washington, Jonnu Smith. Connor Hayward had one off his fingertips. The offense has been playing great. And for the last 5-6 years, feels like I've not been able to say that. So it's pretty nice to be able to be like that. The thing that scares me the most is the defensive backfield. We saw what Jamar Chase and T. Higgins did to Jalen Ramsey, Darius Slay. However, obviously, the Packers don't have them. What they do have, they got Matthew Golden, who I'm a huge fan of. Huge fan of Golden. They also got Romeo Doubs, who I didn't think was going to do anything, and he's been having a quietly good season. The Packers fan can either confirm or deny that, but I feel like he's been having a very good season. And then the rushing defense, Chase Brown ran whenever the world he felt like outside of the first drive against the Steelers. Josh Jacobs is a much better running back, and he has scored 2 touchdowns, I think, in the last 3 games. So that's kind of scary. All that being said, I'm going to take Unk to win it here. I think Jordan Love.
I'm not catching my cues here. No, I think he's a great back.
Yeah, he's a great running back. I think both teams are great. I think this is going to be game of the week. There's a chance that maybe it ends up in a tie, and maybe we have a 2 at the end of our records. But I'm not picking a tie. Give me the Steelers. They're underdogs, obviously, but I am looking forward to this. And it's cold here, too, so it's football.
So this is game of the week. This is game of the week right here. Definitely. These 2 teams right here, pretty evenly matched. I mean, Pittsburgh's offense this year has been pretty solid, really good. A lot better than the last couple of years, for sure. Defensively, though, all that money spent on the defense and maybe not getting a good return on investment over there. It doesn't seem like right now, especially like you said in the secondary. You go out and you trade for Ramsey. Chase kind of owned him a little bit last week. Joey Porter Jr. still can't keep his hands to himself out there. Darius Slay getting old, probably past his prime a little bit. The Green Bay Packers, on the other hand, they've been good all year. The only game that they kind of had was the Cowboys on defense, and then offensively, they had a bad game against Cleveland, but once again, Cleveland's got a really good defense. This game right here, I don't know. It's going to come down to who can make a defensive stop here. And in that case, I don't think Pittsburgh's going to be able to stop Josh Jacobs. I think he's going to have a field day on them this Sunday. I got the Packers winning, and I got the Packers covering by a field goal. But it's going to be an entertaining game. And, man, you just keep football dude in there with a loss this Sunday and his Ravens, Gage, is what I think is going to happen.
All right. I'm on an island for multiple things this episode, and I cannot wait to come back and told that I only had one loss, and that would be the Panthers losing to the Bills.
Hey, I was on the island a lot too there, brother.
Yeah, well, hey, it happens sometimes. So the picks will be a lot different next week. Our records won't be pretty close to the same, at least. They'll be different.
Yeah, it might be worse for me.
A lot of high spreads this week coming up. Not a whole lot of really good games to sit and watch. Like you said, this is probably the best one of the bunch. I mean, I thought this Thursday night game was going to be good, and it turned out to be a turd in the punch bowl.
Yeah, not good at all. And I think the 2.5, I think, is the smallest spread as well. So the rest of them 6.5, 7.5, 14.5,
11.5. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, but like I don't want to bet on these games because I know there's gonna be one team who's a huge underdog and they come out and upset the favorite, and it's just gonna ruin everybody's day.
Let's hope it's not the Jets. Lord, that'd be horrible.
I wasn't gonna say it, but
5 teams this week: the Lions, the Raiders, the Rams, the Cardinals, the Seahawks, the Jaguars. Might as well just say the whole NFC West besides the 49ers.
Last week there was only 2, so
Yeah, but there's 3 NFC West teams. Why didn't they just invite the Niners to take this week off with them?
well, the Niners aren't liked by the NFL. We see the injury plague, and it's just the NFL gods going, "We hate you." So,
They're like, yeah, you get a bye week in week 14, Niners. Oh, man, so that does it here for our pick'ems. Guys, you got anything else you want to add to this here podcast?
I actually do want to add one tidbit I forgot to add on to our Packers-Steelers talk. My favorite game, I'm sure, Gordon has a favorite game. It might be a playoff game between the two teams. But my favorite game between the two comes back in 2009 when the final score was like 36-35, and Big Ben throws a back shoulder to Mike Wallace in the end zone to finally secure the game. Like I said, Gordon's might include like something you fit on your finger or something, but hey, that's not beside the point. We got 2009 vibes all over again, and I hope it's a close game.
Yeah, the Super Bowl was I like that one.
Yeah, Rodgers defeats his future team, Pittsburgh.
Yes.
Man, so, Gage, how's Dubby?
Honestly, pretty freaking good. We see it here. We got the shaker. We have our blue tropical punch flavor in, and my favorite so far. I've tried 2. This one and strawberry lemonade. This one came in the tub. I got it here the other day, tried it out, and instantly was like, wow, this is so good. Like, I didn't know what to expect. Throw that out there. Did not know what to expect. Honestly, didn't really even hear of Dubby before they became with the show here. I'm glad that they did because this has been phenomenal. And I like the color of the cup. I know it's green, and it might be like Kelly green a little bit for Philadelphia.
Eagles, yeah.
But it's cool. I like the design on it as well.
Yeah. So go to w.gg and use our promo code YELLING and save 10% at checkout. There'll be a link in the description to go to it. Gage approves.
I do. And they have a s'mores flavor as well. That I didn't get it, but I got a little, it's probably over in the kitchen right now, but a little poster card that said instead of mixing it with water, you're supposed to mix it with milk. And I want to try that.
It does sound pretty good.
You need to try Grandpa's denture water.
Yeah, that's next on the list for everybody, I believe. But that should do it for everybody here. Gordon, you got anything else you want to add here at the end?
No, I think I'm done. I think we talked enough about the Packers-Steeler game. I will mention this, though. We do got more than just Micah Parsons. We still got Rashawn Gary. He's got 4.5 sacks this year.
It feels like Parsons the only one being talked about, so I don't know.
Well, he is on him. I mean, come on. If you got to talk about anybody, that's who you're going to talk about. He was in Dallas forever. That's why his name is so big.
Speaking of Dallas and Micah Parsons, did you see who was rumored that Jerry Jones is trying to go after now? Max Crosby. Trade for Max Crosby. You didn't pay Micah Parsons. How are you going to pay Max Crosby? The Raiders shut that down, though, by the way. But
I certainly hope so.
But what do the Raiders have to play for, right?
Yeah, ain't it kind of ironic? Ain't ironic they got a good offense. They need a defensive edge rusher. Micah Parsons would have been good for that. We can't stop a cold with our cornerbacks. We could use one, but he's in Baltimore now. Technically, he never played last year anyway, so he was always on the injured list.
Alice Cowboys. And with that, we will see you all next week.
Later.